And so that's why the themes that you love may not be where you remember them, because they might not go with the with the landscape anymore. There might be a rift of molten lava might have appeared, and so therefore the hopeful music that was there needs to be corralled somewhere else. But you'll be able to find out the stuff you love, as Derek was mentioning.
Sorry.
David, so you worked on the tavern music in Burning Crusade days. What other areas did you work on in Cataclysm?
I did Durotar and Stone Talon and a lot in the new Hyjal area and Vashir and about 10 other zones here and there.
And you should have seen the meeting where we were fighting over the zones to work on. We had to draw straws on a few of them, I think. Yeah. We all wanted to work on the underwater stuff.
Yeah, there was lots of teamwork involved, some of us sharing zones like we've done in the past. David and I both hit up Bashir, and that was really fun. I like that Russell and I had done in the past where we split up Howling Fjord, and you sort of get a better, broader flavor when two of the personalities kind of work together to balance out a zone. I think that's really nice.
It's been a challenge and a worthy one that we really cherish to keep the continuum of the World of Warcraft music steady and consistent over many years and many composers. So we're going to also talk today about StarCraft 2 and talk to you about a few other things, and we have more special guests. But real quick, how do each of you guys work? I, for instance, write pencil and paper. I'm kind of old school that way. That's how I write music. But Neil, you guys?
Yeah, I basically write with a keyboard, hearing the samples of hearing the music as I play, and kind of use the computer as a drawing pad, so to speak, and kind of hearing it back real time kind of leads me in different ways. I really respect the pencil and paper guys like you that can do that, because I think that's really important to be able to do. I've always been more about the instant gratification of hearing it. It's kind of part of the process for me to be able to react emotionally to what I'm hearing as it's happening.
Glenn?
Yeah, for my part, I've never been a strict pencil and paper guy. That's hard for me as well, to be able to hear it without hearing any kind of instrument. It's definitely good practice, but I'd have to say the piano being my primary instrument, I gravitate towards writing with the piano first. Then usually I'll try to mock up the whole sketch, or at least a whole section of something, before adding some more orchestral instruments or whatever the piece might call for. But piano, to me, is at the core of it. It's all the notes are there, and it's what I'm most familiar with. If I want to go off into new realms, I might try my hand at guitar or something that I don't play that well. It'll start to give me some different ideas, sometimes usually by accident.
I use multiple approaches. I'll jot notes down on paper, I'll work on the computer or whatever, but usually at the beginning it's something that comes in my head, and it's usually a lot of humming. And the people that work in my department, you can always hear me coming down the hallway or walking through cinematics on the way to the coffee room, or at home, when my wife's cooking, or just walking around my house. I never shut up. It's all, and I'm just humming things over and over again and playing out the accompaniments in my head. So I'm just always making sounds with my voice to try to work out things before I actually bring them to the computer or whatever I need to do to get it all finished up.
Now, you did some special voice studies in your educational past, yes?
Yeah, well, I spent a good amount of time studying South Indian vocals, so I actually lived in India, but I've also studied West African vocals. I spent some time in West Africa, Indonesian vocals, yeah, just about North Indian. I've done a lot of vocal studies, just that being my main instrument, just a wonderful, an instrumental approach to the voice.
And David, how about you?
I left my pencil and paper days in college So, and now the computer is such a gateway into worlds of sound that it's just like an adventure every day. And working on a game like this, that's so open and has so much expanse, it's just inspirational to sit down. And like Derek, I walk around with themes in my head all the time, mostly driving, so I got a little voice recorder because I got tired of leaving messages for myself on my phone at home. So.
Excellent. Real quick, Neil, let's go down the line. Neil, what's the favorite piece that you wrote and what inspired you or why?
Favorite piece would be Night Song, which is going to be on the soundtrack. It's going to be the last track. I wrote it with Lorianne House, who's in the audience. I want to say thank you, by the way, for moving your wedding so you could be here. She moved her wedding a week
to perform for us last night. Yeah.
So,
thank you so much.
So we wrote this song. It was really special to me. It's kind of all about the night elves, the plight of the night elves who have had to move their lands and their lands being torn apart. And it's a really special song, and I hope everyone feels the way about it that I do and that we do. So
cool. Glenn?
For Cataclysm, yeah, my favorite piece was unofficially titled Cataclysm 3, where the 3 came from, I can't remember.
It evokes so much.
I don't know what it was about that piece. Maybe it was the fact that I wrote it in like 3 hours in a panic on the last day before we were getting ready to record.
So where did it wind up? What's it really called?
It's called Cataclysm 3, right?
MUS
where did you put it?
underscore
I don't know.
Cataclysm underscore UU underscore 03.
Derek
There's
can
a
tell
script
us
command.
where he
Play that
implemented it
beta.
in the game. It's kind of sprinkled around different places.
Yeah, you'll have to try and find it yourself.
Okay.
My
Derek?
favorite would probably be one of the tunes that I wrote for Skywall, which is the elemental plane of air, and sort of a place where the air and elementals are being imprisoned. And it's sort of a very slow brass and the women only singing, and it's sort of just static, like slow moving clouds, and it just what keeps you in one place and keeps moving, but without really noticing that it's moving. And that would be my favorite.
Excellent. For me, Grizzly Hills, and it's because, wow, thank you.
Oh, you said from Cataclysm.
Oh, from Cataclysm? No, I said anything. Oh, Cataclysm. Oh, okay. Sorry. David, what's your favorite? I'll think.
I have two. Sorry, they're 50-50. One of them is a piece I wrote called Nordrasil, which was very inspirational because of the new changes in Cataclysm and things. And the other piece I really loved writing was, I always wanted to write a big-ass pirate song. So I wrote Surrender the Booty, and thank Russell for letting me do that.
Cool. Okay, and for me, there's a piece called, working title is Cold Mountain. It plays in Dunmorrow now, along with the old stuff. And how do you write another piece of music about a cold, snowy place? And my family had a special pet, a cat. It was 19 years old, and it was, not to bring this down or anything, but the time had come, and so I put some of the emotions of that experience into the music, and I hope that it, a player can tell there's some extra emotion there and maybe evoke something a little more. So there you go. Now, I'd like to have David, well, he already brought his band back. He's going to play you a couple more things from Cataclysm and end with something that I think you'll recognize that he wrote and is very cool and very popular. And then we're going to tell you about some new stuff that's coming we're really excited about, and then talk about StarCraft before we do Q&A. So, David, all yours.
So these are some new pieces. This is sort of a medley, Hyjal and Stone Talon and Vashir. And then a little Temple of the Moon at the end.